Welcome back to CNN, Clown News Network, where the news is about as reliable as a used car salesman on a sugar rush. Today's topic, the not-so-fair and balanced media machine, otherwise known as mainstream media. They love to tell you they're objective, but let's be real. These news outlets are about as impartial as a referee with a gambling problem. Want a healthy dose of outrage? They've got conflict and controversy hotter than a jalapeno popper on a fireworks night. Who needs boring policy discussions when you can have screaming matches and sound bites? And don't get me started on their political leanings. Subtle as a brick to the face, some of these channels are basically cheerleading squads for their favorite flavor of politician. Want to hear about the downsides of big government? No way. It's all sunshine and lollipops when it comes to regulations and taxes. Speaking of sugarcoating, let's talk about those big corporations whispering sweet nothings in their ears. Suddenly, those corporate giants become bastions of benevolence, right? Don't worry about little guys like entrepreneurs or your local mom and pop shop. The media giants have got their billionaire buddies to look after. And let's not forget the identity wars. Mainstream media loves a good old-fashioned culture clash. Nuance? Compromise? Who needs that jazz when you can pit people against each other based on who uses which bathroom? Free speech? Sure, for some. But dissent? Oh honey, you better watch out or you'll be labeled a troglodyte faster than you can say political correctness. So there you have it, folks. The not-so-secret agenda of the mainstream media machine. But hey, at least they're entertaining, right? Kind of like watching a clown car crash in slow motion. But remember, while they're busy being the ringmasters of outrage, it's up to you to do your own research and think critically. Don't be a sheeple. Now go out there and make your own headlines. Here's our sexy hot commentator with her take on this issue.
Mainstream media often exhibits bias in political coverage by framing stories in a way that aligns with the ideological leanings of the outlet or its audience. There's a tendency to sensationalize stories to attract viewership or readership, which can lead to a distortion of facts or an emphasis on sensational aspects rather than substantive issues. Certain media outlets may have close ties to political parties or interest groups, leading to selective reporting or the suppression of information that could be detrimental to those alliances. The competitive nature of the media landscape, combined with the 24-hour news cycle, can lead to rushed reporting and the prioritization of breaking news over in-depth analysis. Mainstream media often frames economic issues through a lens that supports government intervention and regulation as solutions to societal problems. Economic reporting may lack nuance and fail to adequately explore the complexities of economic theory or the potential unintended consequences of government policies. Media outlets may disproportionately focus on negative economic news to fit certain narratives, such as portraying economic downturns as failures of free market capitalism. There's often a lack of coverage or discussion of alternative economic viewpoints, such as Austrian economics or libertarian perspectives, which advocate for limited government intervention and free market principles. Mainstream media tends to promote progressive views on gender identity, emphasizing concepts such as gender fluidity and transgender rights. Reporting on gender identity issues may prioritize human interest stories that highlight personal experiences and struggles, while downplaying or omitting dissenting viewpoints. Mainstream media's coverage of gender identity issues often lacks critical analysis and fails to address concerns about the impact of certain policies, such as transgender rights legislation, on broader societal norms and values. There's a tendency to frame debates on gender identity as binary conflicts between acceptance and bigotry, which can stifle meaningful dialogue and exploration of nuanced perspectives. Mainstream media typically supports the principle of free speech, but will selectively censor or suppress certain viewpoints deemed controversial or offensive. There's a growing trend of media outlets deplatforming individuals or groups with unpopular opinions, often in response to pressure from activist groups or social media campaigns. Some argue that mainstream media's definition of hate speech is subjective, leading to the censorship of legitimate discourse and the erosion of free expression. The dominance of a few major media conglomerates and social media platforms can contribute to a homogenized media landscape where dissenting voices are marginalized or silenced. You may be asking yourself, will mainstream media ever be unbiased again? It's difficult to predict. But advancements in technology and the rise of alternative media platforms may provide opportunities for greater diversity of viewpoints and increased scrutiny of mainstream media practices.
So there you have it. That's all for today. Remember, if you watch the news, don't just buy it. Think. Analyze. More often than not, you may find out they are lying to us.